Hello, this is Dania Esperanza. Esperanza means hope. Thank you for being here. And yesterday I recorded a video that was about 19 minutes long, and I was so proud of it because it was under 20 minutes. I edited it. I felt that the sound was perfect. It sounded clear. My personality was on point because somebody told me that I was not showing my personality in the videos, because in the videos I tend to talk slower, and I also tend to not be as animated as I am in person. So they asked me to be more myself, especially after posting a video about my authenticity and claiming myself to be so authentic. And then here I am working through my peaceful phlegmatic personality. So I had already spoke about how we have 4 core personalities that we can kind of utilize as a guide or a map in order for us to get to know ourselves. And within these 4 core personalities, whether you believe in these 4 core personalities or not, I welcome everyone to read the books and the information, and even research the information from therapists and psychiatrists from centuries ago, and these scientists that came into play when it came to Plato and the other philosopher, that they also agreed upon these 4 personalities, but they called it something else. And so anyways, regardless, it's a simple way to kind of just get to know yourself and read about your strengths and your weaknesses. And I'm sure that once you go through the list of strengths and weaknesses, you will admit that some of these strengths and weaknesses do describe you or someone you might know. And you're not the best person to kind of judge yourself, because when we are looking at ourselves in the mirror, we see ourselves in a certain perspective and then with a certain eye. And if we ask other people, they'll say, no, you're nothing like that. This is not who you are. And we believe this is who we are. And within the way we perceive ourselves is completely different from what people look at us. You know, whether we are acting out from either a different personality, like if we're at work, we're gonna act a certain way, and when we're at home, we're gonna act a certain way. So the people at home might say something different about you than the people at your job, and that's okay. So with me, I'm like behind the camera, and I'm kind of slow to show my true blue full-blown personality, because it's a little bit like it's animated, and it's not always received very well by everyone. So when it came to my friend pointing that out, I said, I need to do a better video. And yesterday I did, and I was all excited. I edited it. I was going to post it. I was going to email it to my friend. And then next thing you know, I deleted the whole thing. I deleted it, double delete, and there was nowhere to be found. I did it by mistake. I was so pissed off at myself. But I also laughed it off because I remembered that on YouTube, when I have researched YouTubers and the way they talk about how they first started, and when you look at the videos from many years before and then now, you know, they may have had like 1 subscriber or 2, and that went on for months and months. So it took them years to develop their personality behind the camera, and for them to have the courage and the how shall I say, to feel comfortable and to be able to feel as if they can feel confident about what they're talking about. Because a lot of times when I have notes in front of me, I rather speak from the heart. I can look at the notes and say, you know, it's like a guide, but I don't want to be robotic. So I do want to show my animated personality of sanguine more And the peaceful phlegmatic, their personality is making sure the group is relaxed and comfortable, always finding a middle ground, staying calm and functional amidst chaos, not overreacting to a negative situation. And this is the peaceful phlegmatic. And then my popular sanguine personality, which is what I should really work through more when I am behind the camera, is making initial contact with people, creating enthusiasm and excitement, encouraging and uplifting others, ensuring the group has fun. So that's definitely me. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to put myself out there a little bit more, talk more livelier, maybe even have a better genre of music in the background, which I asked my producer to start playing house music in the background because I love house. And he told me that my topics of conversations don't require a house music. They require like soothing, relaxing music because they're kind of like that type of those types of topics. And I was like, not too happy about that. So I said, even if my topics are not always going to be great and positive, like positive topics, they would be great topics, but they probably won't be, they probably won't be always positive because we're not always positive 1000%. And when you come to get help from a life coach, it's usually that you want to improve your life and there's some kind of imbalance with you. So you're going to have conversations that are not always comfortable to have maybe with other people. And which this brings me to the understanding of being authentic and being yourself and being proud of who you are. We definitely are ashamed of our personality. I know I was. I used to look at the reality of my personality and be like, I don't want to look at that. I don't want to believe that that's who I am. And until I didn't actually admit that that was me and I needed to find the way to improve that, I didn't get to improve that. So it's important for us to awaken and own our own flaws and own the thoughts that come through our mind and be able to heal that part of us. And that's one of the things that I do to people with my personality. I show up as I am, and I tend to rub people the wrong way because I am a healer. So I kind of expose people's wounds without them even realizing it. Sometimes it's through my friendship with someone. Sometimes they start to get to know me, and through our friendship they might see that they have some deep rooted issues that they need to work on, and our energies do not rub well after the discovery. So the relationship shifts, and that's something that just happens to a lot of people who are empaths and who are here to be healers. We tend to do that, and we have to be strong-minded and even strong-spirited to know that that's okay, because that's what we're here to do, is to kind of expose people's wounds even though they may not see it, in order for them to heal that, because here and now is where the healing process truly needs to begin. And this could be your hell and this could be your heaven. It all depends on your mindset. And when you are balanced in all of the aspects of your life, and this is pretty much through the life circle that I have mentioned in another video before. We have when you are balanced and you feel full, you feel as if you are able to conquer the world. But when one aspect of your life is imbalanced, you are going to feel like there's something missing, whether if it's within work and career, finances, relationships, contributions and legacy, or personal and well-being, or even your health. When one of those areas of your life, which we call segments, are imbalanced and there's lack there, that's when you start to feel unfulfilled, and that's when you go to places and people and do things that are not healthy for yourself, and you might want to self-medicate, or you enter into areas of your life that might be unhealthy. So that's why you go to therapy, you check your brain, you go to your doctor, you check in with your accountant. If you have to get a second job, you get a second job. If you have to cut corners, you cut corners. If you need to hire a life coach, you hire a life coach, but you do the steps that it takes for you to improve your life. And that is why I'm doing what I like to do, is creating this life coaching business in order to help. And I wanted to talk about my authenticity and my personality and what personality blend means. So don't be afraid if you are operating out more from one core personality than the other. You're entitled to use your inside voice inside and not act like a savage inside your home, or you are allowed to be free and use your outside voice and run and play and be who you want to be. If you're playing football or you're playing soccer, this is just the arenas that we're able to kind of feel comfortable and be be that type of person, an athlete or an artist or whatever it is. And that's how you express all of the beautiful colors of who you are within your personality, and you work on showing yourself through your strengths and not through your weaknesses, because the weaknesses are not healthy. And even though we do have another book that's called Strength Finder, this one, Strength Finder, this is a really good book. So this one is something that helps us when it comes to our weaknesses. And within our weaknesses, we are always thinking like, oh my God, my weaknesses, I'm such a horrible person, compulsive talker. Oh my God, that's so horrible. That means that you could probably you need to work on not being a compulsive talker. But when you are a talker, you can be a storyteller. It could be appealing to people. It's part of your personality, so that can turn around and be a strength depending on how you look at it. And then they have that we elaborate and exaggerate, but that's also falling in the positive area of storyteller. Dwelt on trivia. That's something that I've had to obviously improve. Can't remember names. That's actually a weakness, and the list goes on when it comes to popular sanguine. And then we have the powerful choleric, which is not my personality, but their weakness is they're bossy, they're impatient, they're quick-tempered, they can't relax, they're too I can't even say that word. Enjoys controversy and arguments. This is all the negative stuff about powerful choleric. But then when you turn it around and then you look at the positive that they have, they're not easily discouraged. They're also independent and self-sufficient, so it's like, they have weaknesses, but then when you turn it around and you look at their strengths, those weaknesses can be turned into strengths if you are operating in the positive. You're not hurting anybody, you're not manipulating, you're not insulting, you're just pretty much a leader, a dynamic and active person. You're good with change. So there's like a lot of really great things about each personality. So when I first was filling this out, I was like, oh my God, my personality is probably one of the worst personalities that there is out there, and yada yada. And then when I looked at my weaknesses, I was like, I'm ashamed of myself. But then I have to be who I am. I have to own it, and I have to say, hey, my mistakes have been my mistakes because I needed to make those mistakes in order for me to improve myself, and it is okay. So that is why I'm able to kind of look at the bad things that have happened to me in the eye and either say, you know what, I own that, I could have done better with that, because then that way I am opening up the space for improvement. I'm opening up the doors, and I'm unlocking in them in order for me to receive all of the wonderful gifts that the universe is going to send my way. The minute that I admit my flaws, the minute that I tell myself, the minute that I admit it to God that I am making a mistake and that I don't know what I'm doing, and to help me and guide me, the minute that those signs will come. Because every time I have prayed or I have asked or I have said I need help, I have either remembered who to call, or the person ends up magically calling me, which is a wonderful thing that we have once we ask, and when we are connected to source or the divine, or even just your higher self. Just move forward and continue the process of working on yourself and seeking how to improve your skills and how to find out who you are, what is your personality. So I hope that I nailed it with being more vocal, maybe even clearer, showing more of my eyes instead of wearing the reading glasses. And these glasses do help me. I can see, but I don't want to be hiding my eyes from anyone. So that's not my intention. My intention is to be able to communicate, again, to heal, to inspire, to share and motivate. So thank you for being here. Like, share, and subscribe. And I will be back with more videos. I'm over here looking down. I'm sorry. I'm over here looking at the. I think I have spoken enough about personality. I would like to move on onto these wonderful books, which is what I'm going to talk about next. Emotional Intelligence 2.0 and Strength Finder. So I'm going to come with emotional intelligence next. So thank you for being here. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll hope to see you soon.